One. Okay, we're live.
Yo, 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 yo.
Hey. Welcome back to Okratalks episode 8. I'll just go around, introduce yourself, and we have a guest today, so let him introduce first. So, go ahead.
You're
Introduce yourself,
pointing at
bro.
Come
Suyash.
on, come on,
Oh,
Londoners, do it.
On my screen, you're pointing at him. Okay. I guess I'll go. I am your resident Spurs fan, Pragyat. Uh, been a Spurs fan for 13 years. Finally saw him win a trophy a couple weeks ago, so that's nice. But we also sacked our manager, so yeah.
the life of a Spurs fan.
Yeah, life of a sports fan, and Pragyat and Pragyana is one of the few sports fan we knew. So
Yeah,
he, the
we
poll
had to
was
get him on.
the pool was very low, so we had to give either him or his brother on. So, hey, welcome.
Finally
Welcome to
got some
Okratalks.
representation, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Thank you for having me.
no problem. We have a returning uh, North Londoner as well. So,
Yo. Yeah. I'm Suyash, resident Arsenal fan. So hopefully we don't be beefing too much on this during this episode. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I've been a gooner for like 14 years. About so yeah, proud gooner. Uh, I didn't take that long to see us win a trophy, but still waiting for a big one. Yeah. So
European one.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 14 years of masochism. That's all I'll say.
and then I guess we already know who we are. I'm Saswat. Um,
Yeah,
I'm a liver.
if you don't know us, that's a big problem by
Leave
now.
the stream, bro. Stop
Yeah.
watching. No, just kidding. We need viewers, bro. Stay here. Um, I'm a Liverpool fan for I don't know how long. Let's see. Yeah, same like 14 years. Yeah, we finally won a small trophy this year. Um, after so many years of waiting. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. We won our second Premier League trophy. Yeah, second Premier League trophy. And this one came under slap. So that was nice. And a lot of things happening.
Is yours golden
What, the trophy?
trophy?
Nah, this one's silver, man. We 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 got a golden one coming, don't worry.
We'll see.
Hey. So I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Abhishek. I'm a Barca fan. I'm a football fan. I was a football fan at first, and then I fell in love with Barca. So I've been Barca fan all along. And no, I didn't hop my train when Messi left to PSG, or no, I didn't hop the train when he came to US. So I'm still through and through Barca fan, as you can see. Barca, Nepal, and Messi together. So yeah, that's me.
Dope. All right, let's get into it. Um, let's start with a very hot topic. We were talking about this in the last episode, and we'll resume. So we were talking about Ballon d'Or, the Nations League, and the implications of that game on Ballon d'Or. So first of all, I was requested to explain what the Ballon d'Or is for some people who may or may not follow soccer as much. So the Ballon d'Or is it's not someone's name, but it is a golden. It literally means ball of gold, and it's given to the best player in the world for the year, um, decided by the French. So that decision may or may not be, the best one, but or the most accurate. But essentially, it's a award given to the best player of the year, and some years it's based on stats, some years it's based on vibes. We'll see how it's based this year. Um, talking about that, is it going to be based on stats or vibes this year? What do we think?
Either it's based on vibes or stats. I just hope it's not like if my team doesn't win it, I don't want to be in the ceremony. I hope we don't see that no more.
Hmm. Oh, like what Madrid did pretty much last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
want to just because every season, every episode, I'd be slating on them, so I just didn't want to sound biased. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. You asked.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
so let's start. Let's start because we did talk about Nations League last week, and after that, the semifinal happened, and then final happened. So let's start with the small fish. Let's start with semifinal.
Hmm.
Portugal beat Germany convincingly. I guess Ter Stegen finally got his chance after Manuel Neuer retired from the or not retired, didn't get called up from for the Nations League, Nations team, and he lost against Portugal, so fittingly so. And looks like he'll be losing his spot in the Barca team as well. Let's not go ahead, but yeah. So Portugal was in the final, and from the other bracket, crazy game. Spain versus France. What a game! At one point, Spain was looking down and dusted, and they came back, and it was a crazy ending, 5-4.
Yeah, I think it could have been. It should have been actually 5-5 by the end because France missed these like crazy chances. I think Kolo Muani missed a chance. Well, it wasn't as clear as the chance in the World Cup, but um, he did miss a chance.
Yeah,
Um,
deja vu.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was literally like, damn, that sucks for him.
No.
Um,
Heritage.
French heritage. Um, hey, if Giroud was there, he would have scored that.
Yeah, let's not get into all this because
Yo,
we were talking about Morata. We were talking about Mikel Merino. What a goal, by the way. What a run.
yeah,
True
yeah,
striker's instinct. Yeah.
he
Pur-
scored again.
Purple
Yeah,
Yeah,
patch.
better than R9 for Arsenal spool.
Yeah. Purple patch Merino, best striker in history, man.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about history, but definitely
No, I
he's
do.
But yeah, he's been on fire. Goal scoring form still hasn't ended, it seems. Did he score in the? I forget. Did he score in the final or no? He didn't score,
No,
right?
it was
No,
Zubamendi.
Zubi,
Another, I think Arsenal's
another.
linked with him. Yeah, another Sociedad.
Yeah.
We'll get into
Arsenal.
that. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
yeah, Jubimendi and Orizabal, they both scored.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Spain took the semifinals. Portugal did as well on the other end. Um, and then the final, very good one. I think. Uh, Honestly, I think I would have preferred to see um, maybe the final would have been Spain versus France, just to have the more intense game. But saying that, it was a pretty good game. Um, and man, standout players, I would say Pedri um, was killing it in the first, well, while he was on the pitch. And then another standout player for me was Nuno Mendes. That guy, oh my God. He's been locking down not just Yamal. He's been locking down attackers for since since Liverpool played them, honestly. I think before then they were in a rough patch. They had a few bad games. Um, but since then, like he locked Salah down, he locked Yamal down, he locked who else? Um, was Saka playing when they matched up against PSG?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
No,
he had
he did well.
yeah, I'm sure he had him on lock.
I think yeah, as good as he's been this season, I think the 1v1 is a little overstated. I think like,
Hmm,
you know, PSG as a whole and Portugal as a whole played better as a team. Meanwhile,
that's true.
the wingers he's come up against, like the team in general, just hasn't played well because like Saka was cooking, but we just didn't get anything out of it. And I could say the same for like Yamal, Salah, even during those two legs. But regardless, still like based on form this season, best left back in the world, you'd say.
Yeah.
So
Attacking too, he was going crazy. He got a goal. and then
What a goal, by the
Barca.
way.
Yeah, crazy goal.
What a goal! And he could have got another one, same
Yeah, he
exact
could have.
spot.
Yeah, he passed that one though,
Yeah.
and I think eventually that one turned into a goal too. Not directly, but I think he crossed it in. It came back out. Oh no
Yeah, it
no,
was no. That was not the play. He got the goal. The goal, Ronaldo goal, was a different play.
wasn't that also because of him though?
It was, yeah.
Um, anyways, regardless, amazing player. Ronaldo scored. Uh,
He still got it at the
still
age
got
of
it.
40.
Which was that goal was actually a really good like striker's instinct, like very good goal. And I was surprised to see it honestly. But yeah, he still got it. Um, and yeah, game went on into extra time and went to pens. You know, people stepped up, scored their goals, and then my man Morata.
We all knew
Every
it. We
Yeah.
all knew it. As soon as it stepped, I was like, "Oh no, I don't trust him."
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like that's like if like, bet makers around the world, like
I was about to say.
I feel like that's like such a loss for them because the second Morata steps up to a pen spot, I feel like ev- everyone in the world, no matter what fan you are, you're gonna bet that he's gonna miss. And sure enough, he missed. And
And the
eventually, I
crazy
mean
thing,
that's
the crazy thing I noticed was when he was stepping up, the commentators were talking about his struggle and how open he has been about his mental health and everything. And you
damn,
talk
bro.
about that when the guy is stepping up to take a penalty, in a dying penalty, not even like like second or third. Like it's a dying freaking penalty. So yeah,
I mean, it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. You know,
I thought it was Pride Month, bro.
it's both. You know, a little bit of both. So for all those struggling with some problems, you got it. You'll make it through. We
True.
all got our own issues. So you know,
Facts, man.
don't be afraid to seek out help to those close to you.
yeah, you're not the only one.
Yeah, you know.
Yes,
Think about
talk to the
Morata.
trusted ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
Think about Morata, man.
yeah.
That
We
guy.
talked about Kolumuani missing the start. Imagine how many sleepless nights Morata gonna get. I think he's used to by now. To be honest,
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, where does he play? Where is he playing right now?
AC Milan
Galatasaray.
Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. He's like the what do they call him? He's like the money laundering scheme. He, he
Yeah.
gets
Oh,
he gets transferred between the same clubs for exactly 60 million every other year. If you
And
look
that
at
too
the
for like
transfer
big
market,
teams. And that
yeah.
too for the
wait.
big teams, like
They
not even
signed him
small
for
teams.
60 mil?
No, not like
Oh,
now
not
because
that
he's
time.
a little too washed at this point.
Yeah.
But like
I was
this
gonna
is
say like,
like Atletico Madrid, Real, Juve,
yeah,
like they
they
all
swapped
passed
him
him
out.
around. They all passed him around back and forth for
He
years
made
for
it to
60 mil.
good old Chelsea too at one point, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like he was on loan from AC Milan to Galatasaray. So now he's back to Milan.
Oh, okay. So he's still a Milan player. Wow. For now.
At
Probably
least.
not for long. Jesus. Okay. So back on track. So Yamal didn't have the best game. So I mean I don't think he was really ever um Ballon d'Or contender. I think it was more Rafinha. Um but I would say based on the game, or based on vibes now, people are saying that it should be some people are saying it should be Ronaldo. Um I saw people out there being like, all right, you guys are basing it off the Nations League final. Because people were doing that. They were like, all right, they were making it seem like whoever wins this will be the Ballon d'Or contender.
But
Um,
that was not the entire point. That was the point. The
yeah,
point
true.
was one more trophy in addition to the every trophy they have won in the entire season, which is
Yeah.
3v3.
So now, should it be Nuno Mendes? Should it be Vitinha? Do you think? Should it
Uh,
be, you know?
I don't know. I think I think that like the the Ballon d'Or has become so. At this point, it's like it's not even an award like you can take seriously anymore, because I think what happened is like pre Messi Ronaldo era, right? You look at moments, they look at like skill impact on the team. Then Messi and Ronaldo come and they just like destroy every number available. They just completely dismantle the stats of the sport. Where even if like a player was playing at a Ballon d'Or level, like you see like your Van Dijk, Neuer, Ribery, like players like that, right? Who could have won in previous years, like, but you just had to give it to one of those two because the stats were just too crazy. And now that we're entering this like post, Messi Ronaldo era, it's like we've kind of forgotten like what the award should really be about. It's like because like now people are like, oh, like stats matter. Some people are like, trophies are the only thing. Like I was hearing Carvajal like during the year that like or like last year because he won the Champions League, Euros, La Liga,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So like
which is a fair shout. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
at this point, it's like the award is so fraudulent. Like let's break it down for a second, right? Trophies are good. Trophies are cool. We all know this, but like at the end of the day, what really is the Nations League? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like the Club World Cup of international trophies. Like you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's cool. Congratulations, Portugal. I mean, silverware is always good. Like as we all know, like sure, but like like it's just like
Yeah.
like does one game really like I mean moments are important, but like does one game really like all of a sudden put a 40-year-old who's not even
Yeah.
playing in Europe in these conversations? I mean, respect Ronaldo. The longevity is crazy. The fact that he's even scoring in finals at 40, I mean, like it's insane. But
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we
I
doing?
think I think like this is all a game by like FIFA and like whoever the money makers of this all are, because this is just a glorified friendly, and honestly, it shouldn't even be like a competition because it literally has no like it doesn't do anything.
And
Sure,
the
it gives you
crazy
some
thing is,
pride.
it gets broken down like every stages. Like even a game in a single group gets broken down into like three different international breaks.
Yeah,
So it's hard for the players to concentrate. It's hard for the fans to concentrate. And imagine like one team is playing great, and they might not be the same when they come back because
yeah.
players are out of form. They get injured. They get tired. And they come back and say one window, Netherlands are the team to beat. Next window, they can be dog shit. So
Wait, so now, who do you think? Who do you guys think the Ballon d'Or winner should be? Like, given not given what the world thinks, but what you think the actual, you know, based on what you think the award means.
so for me, it was never Yamal. I just said
Yeah,
it, Yamal Ballon d'Oro, just for the vibe. For me, it has to be Rafinha, and nothing has changed because the goals that he has gave us this season, the way he been playing as a leader, uh, defending and going up in attack and scoring the goals. In Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, he has given us number of goals, including hat trick against Bayern in Champions League. So yeah, for me, it was Rafinha, and fittingly, he wasn't playing in Nations League, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was Rafinha for me, and it is Rafinha for me at this stage.
Yeah, I think it's a weird one because in a way we're kind of blessed now because like you have like 4 to 5 really good contenders in my opinion, and then you have like like it's harder because it's not so clear cut when you don't have a Messi or Ronaldo like
yeah,
destroying those records anymore. But it because like as I was saying earlier, like the Ballon d'Or now is award like weighted by in my mind 5 categories, right? Your individual stats, your trophies, your impact on your team, your moments, and then like the last one is like PR/vibes. So like each of like the top like 4 to 5 players that I think deserve it kind of have they're the strongest in like one of those categories. Like if you look at Salah, it's the stats. If you look at Dembele, it's the trophies, treble winner, right? If you look at Yamal, it's the moments. If you look at Pedri, it's the impact on his team. At least like that's how I see it. I don't think Vitinha or Neves should be in these conversations personally because I think like I don't know. Like I think it's like they just like you look at trophies. If you want to pick somebody from that PSG team, you look at all the categories. So everybody has the same trophies. Then you look at stats and moments, and I think Dembele has outclassed both of the midfielders. So in my eyes, I don't really want to hear this Vitinha Neves talk. I think like if you want to look at the best midfielder in the world this year, it's been Pedri. Granted, he may not have the trophies, but not only in terms of impact on his team, if you look at his individual metrics, he outclasses like every midfielder in the world. Possession stats, progressive stats, even on the defensive side of the ball for like somebody of his like smaller stature, you wouldn't think is as like defensive or athletic. Um, for me though, I would probably say like maybe it's a little bit of prem bias. I think for me, I think there's a clear top three. Like it's between Salah, Rafinha, Dembele. The world probably thinks it's Dembele, and that's who I think it will be because of the nature of the Ballon d'Or. I think Salah just being, winning the league title, being the Golden Boot winner of the Prem, and the playmaker, the top playmaker in the Prem, most goals and assists. The season that he's had, like he almost single-handedly carried Liverpool to the title alongside, like I would say, like Van Dijk, McAllister, Gravenberch. So, like I would give it to him, but like I think Rafinha is a very close second. And honestly, up till last week, I wasn't really. I was kind of like with you. I'd be like, I wasn't really thinking Yamal as much. I was like, it's too early. He's not even the best player on his team. You look at Rafinha, Pedri, it's not clear. But I think that's where it might be a problem, right? I think Barcelona is going to get a lot of split votes, which might cause an issue. But I think like Yamal, like if you look at past winners and if you believe moments are important, I think Yamal has clearly had the best moments this year. So I was talking to a Barca fan the other day, and he kind of changed my perspective on it a little bit. So he's there. Like it's so hard to pick one realistically, but yeah, I think for me, I'd want it to be between Salah or Rafinha, but Dembele is the most likely
And
one.
another thing I want to add that sways in Dembele, which might have an impact, which might not. I'm not trying to start anything, but the Ballon d'Or is given by L'Equipe, which is a French magazine. So,
Yeah,
and Dembele is French, and PSG is a French team. So, I
the
don't know.
trouble. That's a separate.
Yeah.
What do you think, Pragyat?
Yeah, I agree that Dembele's probably going to win it. I do like the Salah shout. I feel like he is a dark horse. And yeah, he carried them to the Premier League. And who knows how far Liverpool would have gone in the Champions League if they didn't play PSG, who, were the best team in the competition. Played them in the round of 16. I don't know how they finished 15th in the league stage, but I mean, yeah, if Liverpool played anyone else, they could have made semis, maybe in final, and then Salah probably would have been up there. But yeah, I think for now, Dembele is definitely like the top or the favorite.
I mean, I agree. I mean, you already know I'm going to say Salah, but he really did carry. I think that performance wise, probably like in terms of, I think goal wise, Rafinha has more, right? In overall, like Champions League plus La Liga, um, and I recognize that, but in my eyes, like Salah definitely carried Liverpool this season. Like if that dude did not perform the way he did, we would have probably finished like maybe top. I don't even know if top four, honestly, because he assisted and scored like I think about half of our goals, um, something
He,
like that, something
he,
crazy.
he outperformed the rest of your front three. and even
Yeah.
some of the bench players, didn't he? Like by
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
I think anybody who played FPL this year knows.
Yeah. He went insane. So I would give it to him, and I hope he wins, and I hope we can all sing Usman Here Kohere, Usman Here Kohere. Some Pragyat told me to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been saying that a lot past few weeks.
But I mean, I can't be mad if he does win, just because of the trophy thing. Um, but we'll see. We'll see who gets top. You know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see.
Ballon d'Or always has been a split vote because there is never a clear answer, and that's how it should be, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's a good thing.
Out and out favorite shouldn't be a thing in Ballon d'Or unless the guy scores 100 goals and 90 goals a season, and another guy scores 20 goals a season. And I what I want to push is as a striker, scoring 20 goals a season is not bad. We just lived in Messi and Ronaldo era where they have been scoring 35 goals or 37 goals or 40 goals a season, like just in a league. Not even all competitions. Like all competitions, they go cross 50 goals. So we just now look at the strikers. Say Haaland, he scored 15 goals, 8 assists, and we be like, oh, he flopped. But as a striker on an off year, that is not a bad stat to have. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Totally agreed.
Yeah, we just got
Um,
spoiled because of Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Doing
I
that
mean,
for 15 years, yeah.
shout out Lewandowski too.
Yeah.
37 years
he's
old,
still doing it.
putting
Yeah.
up the numbers that he did.
He won the
Pichichi, right?
the did he?
Pichichi, no, he did not. Mbappe did.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
penalties. But yeah, speaking of, like, we're talking about flops. Like, the guy was regarded as one of the biggest flops of the season, the reason for Madrid's collapse, and look at him. He's still the league's top scorer. So this is why, like, I mean, this is why you shouldn't completely count on stats, but then this is also why, like, team narratives completely, like, changed, like, the perception of the way people think. Like, Madrid underperformed, and all of a sudden, like, it's like, oh, it's because of Mbappe, he's terrible, but he's still, like, one of the league's best players.
In everyone's defense, when they say he was terrible for first half of the season, and he himself called himself,
Admitted, yeah.
I'm playing bad. This is the lowest I can go. I cannot go bad than this. And then he
Which is
started
crazy.
scoring, and then he got like what eight penalties and rest of the goals. So
Yeah.
the problem with Madrid this season, it never been with the attackers. I mean, it has been with the attackers because Mbappe just scored and the rest of them didn't. But the problem with Madrid this season was the defense and their
Yeah.
injuries at the back. At one point, they had what's his name, Vallejo. Vallejo had to play as a center back. I don't know when that guy played last time, but yeah, he had to play center back because Carlo didn't even have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a scary season next year, because let's switch into transfers happening. They've been super active in the transfer market. Um, Honestly, I think I've mostly seen Madrid stuff. Um, yeah, which is not surprising, but you know, um, crazy amount of transfers been happening. So the top ones that I would like to cover are interesting ones for me. Where I don't know if it's confirmed, but Mbeumo to United. I don't think it's confirmed yet, um, but that's a very interesting one to me because I feel like that guy could go um, literally anywhere else, any other top six team, and have a very good career, rather than go to a team that's not even in any European football, um, and is having a lot of internal problems.
Yeah.
Um, to be fair, I guess it is his boyhood club, um, but professionally, I don't know if that would be a good choice.
What other teams were truly in for him? like actually starting talks and wanting to actually?
There was no news yet, but I mean, one thing I heard was Spurs might have been interested, um,
Yeah, could
which
have
actually
followed
would
the
have been
manager. Yeah,
yeah, it would have been a great fit, or it would be a great fit. It's still possible to happen, because yeah, the manager is going to be there as well, and they're going to be in Champions League, so I don't know why he would choose United over them. Um, but yeah, that's one that I'm keeping an eye on.
Yeah,
Um,
I I think
We haven't got a here we go from Fabrizio, have we? For
no,
Mbemo?
not for that.
yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, but yeah, regarding that transfer, it's I think it's really good from United because I wanted Mbuemo at Arsenal. Um,
Yeah,
because he's so versatile. Like he could play off the right. He can play as like a second striker. I'm sure he
Who
could play
who
down
who
the
goes
middle.
on the bench? Martinelli?
Yeah, you'd have to say. Like I mean,
or you would probably switch out Martinelli to your false nine,
yeah, you
and
and
then
Saka can easily do a job on the left. I mean, because he's just like the most versatile player. Um, to where he could get a job done anywhere. But I think, yeah, I wanted Mbuemo. The one thing that kind of worries me a little bit, is like I don't know if United are just going for the big over performers in the league, but like he like heavily outperformed his XG this season. So we'll see. We'll see
yeah,
if, like he's able to keep getting in those positions. But the reason why I don't think it's as much of a problem like compared to some other players is because like United are lucky that they've gone for a player that like is so good on and off the ball. Like because when he has the ball, he can make things happen. But then like Salah, where like let's say he's doing like 80 minutes of like kind of like okay, let's say he's just 80 minutes of nothing or like a mid or like
yeah.
he's underperforming. He just needs like a moment. He'll get into the right space and he'll do something for you. So like that's going to be very important in a team with Bruno. We don't even need to talk about his temperament, but he's a very ball dominant player. He's the captain of the club.
Yeah.
And then you bring in Mateus Cunha, who has temperament issues, is also a very ball dominant player. So getting Mbuemo is very smart.
Hot off the press, Cunha just scored for Brazil like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So he's hot property right now, man. Even for international.
Yeah.
Um,
He also severely outperformed his XG like this season.
I mean, but that's fair, I guess, because of the team he plays for. Like both of them, because I don't think they create as much as, let's say, I'm not going to say United, but let's say like a Liverpool or Arsenal did this year. So I think at a bigger team that might be, it's like I think the stats are a bit skewed. Where that, like, yeah, because like
Yeah. I mean,
I think they're
XG is always a weird one because, like,
yeah
at the end of the day, like, unless it's a completely 100% goal, your XG will never be one, right?
yeah
Like, it's
exactly
on a scale of 0 to 1 per goal. So most XG is usually less than the total number of goals. And if you look at the players who tend to overperform their XG by a lot, it is the top strikers in the world. But that's why like you got to take the sample size because like Kane, Holland, players like that, they're just so clinical.
yeah.
Can we say right now that Mbuemo and Cunha are as clinical as those two? I don't think so. But like
Time will
regardless, it's
tell.
like
Yeah.
if they're game changers, if they can grab the game, by themselves, like it's really good business from United, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Has me a little worried. Can I say that?
So there was actually a lot of good transfer watching happening during the Nations League provided me with a good chance to watch potential new players to the Prem, um, and also I don't know if you guys caught the whole Bruno to Saudi fiasco, but apparently he's not going; he's staying. Although there's been rumors that he said he doesn't want to leave Europe. So there's rumors saying that he might just go somewhere else within Europe. So he might be leaving United. Who knows? But transfer watch wise, they all scored. So Florian Wirtz, we got a here we go today from Romano. So he's, I'm going to say with optimism, a Liverpool player. He scored against Portugal, uh, header, which is unexpected, but a good header. Um, and he played pretty well. Zubi scored for Arsenal, um, or not for Arsenal, for Spain. um, that I don't know if he's coming to you guys.
We've been
we've
talking
gotten
about this deal the last like 3 episodes. At this point, like I don't even know if I want to like say
but
anything about it.
he's
But
given the here we go, right? He's
No.
already
So
no,
I have a news from Marca. So Marca says he was almost certain that he will be going for Arsenal, but call from Madrid has changed his mind. So he's thinking about it.
Ooh.
that's what I've heard. After that Marca news, I saw a post saying like, regardless of what Marca will be reporting, he's already agreed personal terms with us, and apparently we're ready to pay the release clause. So,
You know what this sounds like? This sounds exactly like what he did to us. This man
yeah,
cannot be trusted, bro.
no, I agree. Plus, like, he's one of those players who definitely like he enjoys being home. When Madrid calls, they always make you look in the other direction. So, for me, it's like
Especially
I'm
for
not
a
I'm not
Spanish player.
worried. I'm not worried because I think I'm just gonna have to trust Teta on this one. Another Spanish midfielder convincing him to trust the process, join the. I mean, I don't even want to call it a project anymore. At this point, we really should be like competing.
Competing, yeah.
I do agree. We
I
should be
mean,
not
he
not even
convinced
competing, we should
you.
be winning.
He
Right.
convinced you guys. So and he
Yeah. So
and looks like he did a pretty good job at it. So
yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I don't, hopefully this doesn't get clipped, and I don't regret saying this. I have,
This is getting clipped, bro.
yeah, I have confidence that he will join us based on most of the news I've heard.
Here we go from
Yeah,
Suyash.
yeah,
Zubimendi
I
to
have
Arsenal.
confidence, um, because like apparently, yeah, the personal stuff he's already talked to Arteta and things like that. So, and we're ready to pay his release clause. So there's not going to be a lot of dilly dallying with the club itself. For the fact that we've covered this transfer for 3 episodes already, enough is annoying to me because it's typical Arsenal, isn't it? Like all the targets in Europe are getting snapped up while we still haven't even wrapped up a singular deal. Meanwhile, two of our midfielders are like on, like Jorginho's already gone. Partey, if the talks break down, he's gone too. So like this is one of those deals where yes, I think it's a slight overpay, but like it quite literally needs to get done because we just don't have any other midfielders.
So
So
as I know how exactly you feel because we've been doing the same thing, and finally we paid John Garcia 25 million release plus today, so we getting our goalkeeper
Here
to
we go.
yeah.
yeah, great keep.
Talking about weird transfer. The weird transfer I didn't understand from the player's perspective is Joe Bellingham from
Yeah.
Sunderland to Dortmund. So I don't know what the idea is. I know Jude did the same thing. Jude did the same thing, going to Dortmund, and then he's in Madrid, and we all know how it turned out to be Madrid. Like he's been scoring bunch of goals. He's a great player, but I don't think going to Dortmund when your team got promoted to Premier League is a good idea.
Yeah, I think he's just going into the hype of, or like what his brother did pretty much.
Following the footpath.
Yeah, it's like a good media story pretty much. And maybe his goal is to go eventually play at Madrid with his brother. Um,
I
or he could, it could also be that he realizes that maybe the Prem is might be too good for him. And Sunderland because they're probably going to get relegated. Whereas Dortmund, they're going to do fine. They'll be
yeah,
competing. So I think honestly, I think it's a good choice because Sunderland is going to get battered.
Right.
in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, talking about Madrid, but Madrid don't go off the vibes. They don't care about your feelings. They
Yeah, that's
talk
true.
business. They talk business. They don't even care you are like your 20-year-old veteran who has played for you, made like thousands of saves, and then they just leave you off the back door without even giving a proper tribute. Shout out to Casillas, but
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean that's why I'll never forgive Mourinho for that. But not to get sidetracked, to be honest, I think the move makes perfect sense from a player perspective because at the end of the day, like Dortmund, went for Jude Bellingham, and then they sold him, and now they're going for the next closest thing, like his
His
brother,
brother.
right?
as a
Like,
D
and
anyways, yeah.
and yeah, he may not be as talented as Jude, but like they do have similar profiles. They play in a similar way. They're like they're 6, 8, 10 hybrids. So like I think the deal makes sense from a Dortmund perspective. I think the price is a little too high, but exactly like you said, it's also like if he stayed at Sunderland, they're getting relegated regardless, right?
Yeah.
And if anything, him leaving, like
What
it's
if
one of the,
Sunderland is next Leicester City story?
yeah, I mean,
That still takes a
No.
couple seasons, though.
yeah, I think
no chance.
the like the gap between the promoted teams and the rest of the league, just in the last 2 to 3 years, has gotten too big. Like we saw it this last season. Like the 3 promoted teams immediately went back down. Like
they didn't even make it to 20 points, right? I don't think.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
30,
Or 30, yeah. But like
Oh, 30.
like the thing is, it's one of those stories where like some people in hindsight you might think, oh, like if Sunderland happened to stay in the league, you might think, oh, Job like should have stayed, whatever. But the only reason that they might have a chance to stay is because he got sold, because they sold him for like 33 million. Like it's amazing business from Sunderland. Like that money, like that
that's
means
gonna
so
help
much to them, and like they're probably going to use that in the transfer market and go out and get signings that'll help them hopefully stay up. So like and let's not forget, Dortmund may have a reputation of like not having won stuff in a while, but at the end of the day, they're playing Champions League football next year. They finished fourth in the Bundesliga this year, so like from a player perspective, and then you have the PR to go along with it. Like you have the same story as your brother. I can't imagine from a professional athlete's perspective that he's already thinking about Madrid as the end goal. I think because it's always about the next step, right? Like as an athlete, you can't really think like, oh, where am I going to be 2 to 3 clubs from now? I mean, maybe that is a goal in the back of his mind just because he wants to play with his brother, or maybe he just wants to play for Madrid because a lot of players have that dream. But like, it's always the next step, and he's leveled up at the end of the day. Unfortunately, for like no disrespect to Sunderland, great club with a lot of history, but like he's playing.
He made the right decision. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing in Europe. He's playing in the Champions League. He's gonna get a taste of like football.
He's probably gonna be a starter too.
Yeah,
there too, and he'll be around a lot of great players. So kudos to him.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. I want to talk about Man City, because something been rubbing me the wrong way recently. Let me start by saying, great goal by Cherki in the Nations League, banger of a goal. But let's stop with these comparisons to Wirtz, man. Like, ever since we've been linked with Wirtz and that 150 mil price point, I've seen a lot of City fans come out and be like, "Oh, you can't say anything about City spending now." Hear me out. They spent 200 mil in January on 2 bench warmers, and Marmoush is good. I say Marmoush was the only one that was worth the money. Other 2 bench warmers. I'm not gonna give him the light of day.
200 in January to end up trophyless, by the way.
That too, and nearly out of the top 4 or Champions League spots.
Yeah.
So, that's one point. But I guess their point was they were doing the comparison of Wirtz, 150, and then I think for about 100, for about I think 100 flat. They got Reinders. Um, who is it? Reinders, Shirky, and who was the last guy? Oh, Aitnuri.
Right, Nori.
Um,
Ryan
yeah.
Nori.
So I think all three of those are great players, great signings. City's been making moves. They got so those three players. I don't know if they're all here we goes, but I think Aitnuri and Sherky are confirmed. Not sure about Reinders.
Yeah.
Um, but Reinders, what a player. Sherky also really good. Um, and Aitnuri good as well. Um, but also on the coaching end, he got Pep Linders, old Liverpool coach or assistant coach, um, which was interesting to me. And then he also got Yaya Toure or Colo Toure. Um, Colo, I think Colo Toure. Um, so he's revamping the whole thing. But what do you guys think about their transfer dealings? Like, do you think
They
it's
they
do you
they
think all
needed to
these?
though. They
But do you
needed.
think these
They
players
didn't. They didn't.
are?
They didn't have a midfielders. It was easy midfielders.
Yeah,
So
De Bruyne's off to Napoli.
yeah, almost done.
Yeah,
Gundogan is leaving. Bernardo Silva, there is a rumor that he's leaving. So who's left to
he's
play?
getting old.
Nico Gonzalez.
But what do you
So
guys think of the players like Reinders, Sheki?
I
Um,
this is my thing. Like, if we go through each of them, I think Ait Nuri, Prem proven, seems like as good as Gavardio has been at left back, and I think nobody expected it, right? But like I always believe if you have a player that's that good going forward, you don't cage them. But at the same time, we know he's an elite center back, and it seems like Pep has been pretty dissatisfied with the defense this year, plus their injuries. So maybe he's bringing Ait Nuri for rotation. You can play Gavardio as center back that way. Still have a very competent and elite defense. So I think that's good business. I mean, he's prime proven. I don't know about like his ability on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know if we can like. I don't know.
he,
Maybe
he
maybe
he's a
maybe
little he's a little Trenty
you're
in
right.
that
Yeah,
sense.
like yeah, exactly. Trent. Yeah, like maybe football is like going back to the days of those like super offensive fullbacks. I mean, it's a change that I'm here for it. Like up the entertainment. But I think good business in that regard. Rotation or starting, it helps them
Yeah,
out. What was the fee? Under 30, under 35, something like
30,
around there.
35,
Yeah,
that.
36. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd pay that much, but they're City. They get away with
decent. Yeah,
anything. So um, then you look at Cherokee. I think it's good business too. I mean, at least for the price point, because
yeah, very good. I
the,
think.
the revisionism on Cherokee in the last like 2 to 3 months, ever since that Europa League campaign for Lyon, and like, yeah, he's been good. Like people have been talking about him for the last season or two, but like the hype in the last couple months has been like this is pure aesthetic bias because like he's great, right? He's a good player. He's solid. Like you said, he's not Verts. If you
Yeah,
want to say it's a better signing because of the fee and like
could be.
the
Yeah,
player that they got at that fee, sure.
value.
By all
Yeah,
means, I might even agree with that. Right, Shirky at 30 million, it's a great deal. Like I didn't expect him to go for that cheap, but
Yeah, and still he's 21, so he got a lot of.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I
He's
think
young.
I think it's a great signing because he's very versatile. He can play 10. He can probably play anywhere along the front three.
Yeah.
And the way that Doku and Savino haven't exactly hit the ground running the way that Pep probably wanted them to. You bring in a new wide player, a KDB replacement, Marmouche backup, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, and like you said, aging midfield. Moving on to Reindeers. Reindeers has been class this season,
I
and
think
I'm
I think
surprised.
that's their best signing.
Yeah, I'm surprised they got him for that cheap. The only thing is, I guess we'll have to see how he adapts to the Premier League. But
Yeah,
what this tells me is like Bernardo Silva to the bench or gone because like he had his time, he was great, but realistically like we've seen the legs go. Bernardo and Gundogan are Gundogan,
dude.
Gundogan, and
Gundogan, bro.
yeah, like so
Next
like
season is gonna be crazy in the Prem. I think the title race is gonna. It's back, baby. Prem title race is back. Um, yeah, City building up real good. Liverpool doing good business.
Yeah, I think the first
Yeah,
2 months will be shaky, but I think they should be good.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take, Pragyat? I mean, for
What is
Tottenham,
Spurs? Yeah, what is
yeah.
Spurs doing in transfer market? I haven't even heard anything.
Not much. I mean, all I've heard so far is Son might be leaving because he didn't give an indication that he was definitely staying. Might go to
Mm,
Saudi. Um, you know,
fair play.
good for him. You know, he won a trophy with us, and he's a club legend. So yeah, leave on a
Get
high.
that bag.
Yeah, get that bag. Um, yeah, nothing. I've heard some talks about like reaching out to Semenyo's camp. Um, I don't know how reliable that source is, but it could be a good signing. But yeah, that's all I've heard on Spurs, and not much activity besides obviously the here we go for Thomas Frank. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Mister Ange got sacked, and Thomas the Tank is in.
yeah,
Um, which is actually another good signing. I think. I think he fits what you guys need. Um, yeah, he did great things with Brentford, and I think with the players that Tottenham has, and hopefully the players that they'll get, um, should be pretty good. I think the Prem will be cooking next year. There'll be some good FPL. Um,
Yeah,
FPL is
talking
going to go
about
crazy.
FPL cooking. The signing I liked in recent days. The Leon Dub to Chelsea from
Mm,
Yeah.
Ipswich for
that's a
35
really good
mil.
one. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good deal, and it just went off the radar. So props to Chelsea for that.
yeah.
Because
Finally getting a good deal.
once they make the noise, other team comes and just picks it up. But yeah, props to them.
And
Liam
it was only
Delap,
like what, like 30, 35?
Yeah,
35,
Player
yeah,
like
30,
that.
very
35.
Yeah.
Now
yeah
that's
respectable.
cheap, yeah, compared to Cunha.
Yeah, comparatively, yeah, that's
I
insane.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah, like I think yeah, it sucks seeing every club make moves, but I think
hey, you guys are close to Zubimendi, man.
yeah. I mean, it's just annoying because like we need somebody off the left, but every target is going because like Acuna's gone, Embuemo's almost gone, right?
Yeah,
Then you look if you want to keep it in the Prem proven targets. Like Spurs are already opening talks with Semenyo, like
yeah,
which would be a great signing for them. He's extremely two-footed, can play on both wings. You know, Prem proven game changer, right? And then you look at like okay, like if we because I don't imagine us spending big on a left winger because most of our budget is probably allocated towards Sesko because
striker. Yeah,
that deal is not looking like it's going to be cheap. So if we do go through with it, so if that's the case, we needed to get a budget left wing for under 50 million. Like I'm hearing Rodrigo, but I'm like, where's the money? Show me the
yeah,
money
yeah.
first. Like we
So
definitely have it in PSR, but are we going to spend it? Are the Cronkies going to open their wallets? Like I know this club. I followed it for more than like almost a decade and a half now. Like we're not going to be doing that. So what we're gonna do Irrelevant the last man. Like we're just gonna be waiting. It's gonna be like
Suyash headache,
far as
headache.
40+1 again. Like and the one I really wanted, you know,
Oh,
talking about
I just want to add this. Sorry to piss on your dream, but Rodriguez was posted today,
Yeah, I'm happy or
saying
something.
happy,
yeah.
and he's training in Bernabeu
I
with the
I
Madrid
honestly
jersey
did,
on.
I didn't want him at that price point anyway. Great player, but 90 million. Like I'm good honestly because
He's worth it though.
no,
Like
as
off the
good
vibes,
as good as he is, like I want a player like if we're going to be buying a player that's I mean how old is he? He's like 23. He's pretty young.
22, 23. Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah,
young.
he's pretty young. So I
He's
guess
young.
that's okay. But if we're going to be spending that big on a player, I want a player that can come in that will make me question who our best player is, Saka or him. But like if he comes in, you have to worry about prem adaptation. You have to plus at the end of the day, a couple of clutch goals and some aesthetics have made people think Rodrigo is God. At the end of the day, like he is a side character to Vinny and Mbappe. You do not bench like generational talent like Mbappe, nor do you bench like one of the most explosive and like trickiest winger profiles in the world for a player like Rodrigo. As good as he is, and his finishing and shooting is something that I think is underrated. But everything else is like at that price. I don't know. Like he doesn't have that main character energy the same way an Alexis Sanchez did, where even though he's a side character, like that he's gonna come and like he grabbed games at Barcelona, like not just clutch goals, but like single handedly. I don't know if Rodrigo has done it on the same level. Like Champions League, yes, a couple clutch goals, but like I don't look at moments. I look at consistency. But
That's fair.
because of the big fee for Sesko, it's like okay, we need somebody a little cheaper at left wing, probably a project type of player. I really wanted Bino Gittins of Dortmund because I was looking at some graphs and like he has like the most 1v1s or completed dribbles in all of Europe by a lot. Like that's like the x-axis of this graph, and then the y-axis is like how many final third actions have come out of it, where it's like a goal, an assist, or like a chance created. And he blows like almost every winger out of the water. Like it's like everybody's in this range. He's like out here. His data point is like out here. And for like 30 to 40, 50 million, I mean, I know I've been hearing a price quote of like 70 now that Chelsea are involved. But like
Hmm.
he probably could have been like an Arsenal player at 40 to 50 mil at that price. We need somebody who can like beat a man on that left side. So like that's who I wanted. Um, but we'll see. I mean, if Chelsea, that's amazing business from Chelsea if they get that done. I mean, I know they buy practically anybody nowadays, but that's a real a real good one. So yeah,
So
we'll see.
Avi, I have a few, I guess, La Liga related, player related questions for you. Um,
Hmm?
One, I'll start with what do you think about? I've seen rumors of Araujo coming to Liverpool. What do you think about that?
Arau is a weird case. So in his best day, he's the world beater. Like he can take on anyone on headers, 1v1s. He won't let any player pass. But it's all in his head. Like once he goes downhill, like he doesn't go downhill. He slopes to the downhill. So
Hmm.
Araujo is a weird one. I love him. I love him to the death. But sometimes it's very hard for me to the word just
Support.
yeah. I cannot fight against the word for him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, Arau is a weird one. So in at today's date, if somebody gives me a choice, like if I want a Christensen or Arau in the team, I would rather say Christensen on the team.
Oh
Even though
wow,
he just came back from injuries.
that's an interesting pick.
I
Oh,
mean, yeah, I think Araujo is like he was struggling with some injury issues for a while, and yeah, I think the temperament or the
hmm. A
patience
little bit, yeah.
isn't there.
Yeah.
Like that the defensive IQ, I guess we'll say, because like I mean 2 years ago like it was it was arguable who was like the better young defender, him or Saliba, you know. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, I rated
but
I
now,
rated Araujo pretty highly, but
but now it's not as not as clear.
Yeah,
I don't know
this
if I would
this
take
season
him
he has
honestly.
struggled. Yeah, this season he has struggled with injuries, and he came back. And 34-year-old Inigo and 17-year-old Kubarsi
Kobarsi
replaced him. Yeah,
took his place, so yeah, I don't think I'd want him unless he comes in as a backup for a relatively cheaper
yeah.
price.
He could be if it's cheap and his wages aren't that high. So if it comes at a cheap, he could be a
I
good
wouldn't mind.
backup for
Yeah,
Konate. Yeah, he could be
yeah.
good backup for Konate.
Um, and then the second player I wanted to ask you about is I've heard a lot of noise about this guy. He's pretty much going to Madrid, but the
Dean Huijsen.
Argentinian player, no, Argentinian player Mastuano, the
Yeah.
River Plate guy. Is he good or is this just hype? 'Cause I
To be
watched him play one game for Argentina. Like I just watched some highlights and like he
yeah,
just looked like a regular player. So
I,
I don't
I
know what this hype is.
I haven't watched him play like for 90 minutes, to be honest. I have watched
Yeah.
his YouTube highlights, and yeah, in YouTube highlights, even Darwin looks good. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
born
Okay, interesting.
2007, by the way. Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
he's
Yeah, I
young,
know,
bro.
right?
17 years old, 2007. That's
Yeah,
wild.
Madrid are backing up with young talents. They moved on from Galacticos and they're backing up young talents, which is interesting to see. And
But
this
they're paying a
season
lot for them.
they are,
I don't
yeah.
like that. They're like
This
inflating.
season they have already signed 6 player this season.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I've
Six
heard
is
good
crazy.
things about Mastuano. Just, I mean, I can't say that I've watched much, so I have
Yeah,
no idea. But like, I've seen a lot of like Twitter tactical threads on his game, and apparently he's
interesting.
like, apparently he is really good. So
Okay,
we'll see.
maybe some good business. All right. Okay, I'm ready for some hot takes, Pragyat. I heard that you'd bring a few hot takes um, to the pod, so let's hear them.
Oh, talking about weird transfer. Sorry, I had to jump in.
Yeah,
I have heard rumors about Ter Stegen to Manchester United
I hope he goes, bro. That would be amazing.
because he needs he. So we got here we go for John Garcia today, and
Yeah,
I don't think in the pecking orders. I think he will be
he's
third, and
like third.
Inaki.
Yeah,
Yeah, Inaki will be fourth. Inaki is leaving either way. He just outright said that I'm leaving. So Inaki is leaving. We let him go. Oh, talking about letting him go. Shout out to Clement Longlet. Because I have given him so many slates, but he just left for Atletico Madrid. We terminated his contract because so swiftly because he wants to be for Club World Cup with Atletico. Shout out to him. He just let go 34 million. He waived his fee. We were supposed to pay him for 2 years of contract left for him. He makes 16 million a year, and we were supposed to pay him, but he just waived it. So shout out to
damn.
him. But on the other hand, Ter Stegen, he's asking his so Ter Stegen also has 2 years in his contract, and he's asking 42 mil. So he wants everything right now. So that is the problem with Ter Stegen right now going on. But yeah, we're ready to give him
Mm,
contract termination, but he's asking for his 42 million payout.
that's absurd.
I forgot to mention with Zubamendi earlier as well regarding those Marca reports. Ornstein came out and said Madrid weren't actually ever officially involved. It was just a bunch of rumors. So we'll see how that goes. And hot take: Ornstein is better than Romano. Like
Oh no, yeah. He
at least for English news.
in terms of quality of news, he has when he says something, most likely it's gonna like 99% it's gonna happen. He doesn't, especially for Liverpool, like, um, and I'm sure this carries over to other club news too. But whenever he gives news for us, he's our tier one. So
Yeah,
yeah,
same.
he's like whatever he says is good.
I think he knows the English teams well.
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
he's the Arsenal number one too.
he gets me orny, man.
Romano was good for Spurs when Conte was our manager. Obviously, having the
It's the
Italian
connect,
connection.
bro.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's definitely been Ornstein for us.
Romano's a bunch of theatrics, man. Like
Yeah.
he's made his career off of 3 words, man.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Give me your hot takes.
I feel like Ange had to go. He had to go.
Actually, that's not that hard of a take. I think
I
honestly,
mean, maybe.
I was talking to your brother about this, and he had the opposite opinion. Where I think he wanted Ange to stay. He thought he deserved it, at least at the moment. This could just be a off the cup high. But yeah, I guess explain.
Yeah, we were a lot more patient with Ange compared to Conte, compared to Mourinho. We like he was the first manager since Pochettino in which he finished out a league season, which was last year. If you think about it, because
That's fucking
Pochettino
crazy.
we fired in November of 19, brought in Mourinho, he finished out the 1920 season. 2021, he fired him before the League Cup final. And then the year after that, I brought in Nuno. he lasted 5 games, 5 or 10 games, and we brought in Conte. Conte finished out the season, and then we sacked Conte at the end of the 22-23 season. So yeah, that's with
Damn,
5 managers that
fourth
didn't
since
finish. Yeah, that didn't finish the season. So Ange, yeah, we gave him a full season. He had the glorious first 10 games. We had 26 points, and then kind of fell off a cliff after that. Still finished fifth, respectable. Especially after losing Harry Kane. But then this season, like, I know we had sort of like the injury scare and everything, but we should have done better in the transfer market, like the summer before. Because if you think about these big clubs like Liverpool, Man City, a few injuries shouldn't completely derail your season, especially not to the point where you finish 17th with 22 losses. And I know, again, we were prioritizing, the Europa League campaign because that was kind of our only saving grace. But this club, we have the money to compete on multiple fronts, and we have to. So, it's just inexcusable the way the season ended, and especially the last Premier League game against Brighton, losing 4-1, left a very bad taste in my mouth. Even after winning the Europa League, yeah,
you don't want to see
he just
that.
had to go. He had to go.
Yeah,
I actually have a question for you. Like, do you think that the way that you guys play and train contributed to like the injury crisis? Because for me, I was thinking like just the entertainment value, like the good football you guys were playing the beginning of last season. Like until this season, I would have been like, okay, like he seems like a progressive manager that you'd want to keep around. But then I was just seeing threads of like, because you have to be fair to managers who are dealing with an injury crisis, but I was reading a bunch of threads about how like because you guys play so like dynamic and like aggressive, right? Like it's high intensity press almost the whole game. I think Spurs. I don't know about this year, but at least last year, I think you guys like played. I think you guys had the least amount of goal kicks in the Premier League. Like you played out from the back, like it's brave football, right? But then that contributes to like a lot of like wear and tear on players, like that high intensity. Like, do you think that like it's his tactics that caused the injuries, or it's just kind of like injuries happen and then like you guys ended up like 17th, like because it was a real crisis. Like at one point, you guys couldn't even field like one starter or something, or you had only like one or
Yeah,
two
to
starters.
call up some academy players. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely does, especially because we've had this injury crisis for a while since November of last year, November of 23. It started with that Chelsea game when we lost 4-1 with 9 men. It started with that. That's when Van de Ven, I think that when he got his hamstring injury, Madison also got injured that game, and it hasn't really recovered since then. So it definitely does play a part. Playing the high line, high intensity. Um, it's worn down Son a lot too, and you could see even in the Europa League final, the whole game wasn't that good.
but he was off his pace. I
He was
remember
off his pace. He was
he had
struggling.
one chance to like break away. I
Yeah.
forget like
I think it was
exactly
like Solanke was
yeah.
coming off the right, and then passed it to Son and immediately got
He
tapped.
wasn't able to,
Yeah,
which usually he used to be. So I think I agree that I think Pochettino was the issue because you don't like I forget what it was. There was a game where he was playing 10 men against I forget what game it was. But they were down a man. I forget who they were playing. And
was it the
he still
Chelsea game?
played
Yeah, he played a
maybe.
high line. It was like
Yeah.
they're playing 9 men, still playing a high line offside trap. It worked for a bit, and then freaking Nico Jackson got his hat trick.
Yeah. So, and it happened this season too, I think, recently. Where someone got a red and they were playing a high line. But I feel like he's a very stubborn manager in like how like what his tactics are. Like he doesn't change his tactics. I was actually talking to my physical therapist is a Spurs fan, and he was saying how like he also wanted to see Posh go, or not Posh, Postecoglou
Ange.
go,
Yeah.
uh, um, because like he was too stubborn with like how Tottenham played. Like he didn't play the way they needed to play in times. Like so, like there's situations where you have to like sit back, and there's situations where like you need to park the bus, um, especially if you're down a man. But he would not really do that. He wanted to stick to like he would just be like he put it well. He was like um, he just like said, "Aye, mate, that's how it is. That's how we play."
Yeah.
And we'll just continue on with his ball.
He reminds me
Um,
a lot of Flick.
yeah, Hansi Flick. Yeah, just not as good, I guess.
I will say he did.
Barcelona Academy, La Masia, the
That's
players
true.
that they
Yeah,
have,
they have a different level of
you know.
yeah. Maybe in a put him at Barca, see what he does.
I will say that Ange did adapt in the Europa League final,
Yeah,
but maybe too much. We didn't need to let Man United get back in the game because they weren't doing anything. We didn't
yeah,
need to
that's
sit
true.
back the whole second half. That's pretty much what we did. I think our possession in the second half was like 20-something%.
I
Was
think he like overcorrected for like
exactly,
his
yeah.
past mistakes.
Yeah.
I
Like we definitely should have put that game away. And honestly, we are lucky that we played Man United because I don't know how we'd fare against Bilbao or like Lyon.
yeah,
So I
no,
guess we have to
you
thank Man
guys
U
would have lost.
for beating them along the way. But yeah, we'll see how we fare against PSG in the Super Cup. That might be a bloodbath.
Oh, that's
Might be-
gonna be that's gonna be. All right, over under 5 goals. I'm gonna take over, bro.
You're saying
I
it
think there's
over?
gonna be
Yeah.
more than 5 goals in that game. Not
Oh,
5 goals
not
for
like
them.
not
Just
not 5 cold.
I
Okay.
actually don't think so. Because
that's a hot take.
I think the most important thing you guys have done this season, it's not win the Europa League. It's not getting into the Champions League's up there, but like I think it's genuinely getting Thomas Frank. Like I think that like yeah, has he been blessed a little bit by like Embuemo, Visa, Damsgaard, like sure, but like I think like he's like one of those managers that like if you were going to replace Ange, it was the best time to do it because he was available. Like you guys got like an elite manager. Like think about what he's done with Brentford. You know what I mean? Like I think like and he respects the defensive side of the game. Like which is why I say under. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I didn't consider that for a second. I forgot and thought it would still be Ange ball. But yeah, with Thomas Frank, it's a different story. I think it'd be a much more even game. They actually might even win. Who knows? Let's see how your transfer. I don't think you'll win with the players you have. You definitely need.
No, we need to be active, and I'm not really seeing that right now, which is concerning.
It's kind of funny, fair. Though. Like Spurs are acting like a bigger club than United. You know, like because you guys won the Europa League, and you're like, we can't continue with this guy who's played progressive ball with the injury crisis that you guys had. Like that it takes some cojones to make that decision to sack Ange. Like especially like some people consider it Spurs' worst season. Some people consider it the best because of the trophy. But like at the end of the day, like you can't finish that low. Like and then like you can't judge the success of a season just based off 90 minutes. Like because what was the final score of the final? Was it 2-1 or was it 2-0? I forget. The Europa League final.
It was just 1-0.
1-0. Right. Yeah. Like that's margins, man. Like anybody could have taken that game. What happens if like 9 times out of 10 do you guys win that game? Like who knows? Like United were only a goal behind. Like they easily could have won it. And you shouldn't judge your whole season just based off of a 90-minute match, regardless of whether it ends in silverware or not. Like, yeah. And I think you guys made the right decision. Like, look, like, because now United, like, yeah, they're doing good business, but they're gonna have to back Amarim for this window, like all the money that they're gonna have to spend, and potentially January if he sticks around that long. You know, so like
Yeah,
yeah,
Hot take: Suyash thinks Amarim gone before Christmas.
I don't know. I think the thing is right. They're being they're being weirdly patient with him. I didn't expect that,
They
especially
have to
to be
be,
fair,
right?
they didn't give him a chance to. He didn't have a chance to like,
Transfer window.
yeah,
yeah, bring
yeah.
his players in.
They haven't
So
backed him yet, so
Hmm.
we'll see. But like in the modern game, to be a three-back manager, like without the super
bro,
defensive tactics that Inter have, like it's kind of like
I
it
think he's a
doesn't
bit of
make
a.
sense to me.
I think he's a bit of a joker. I was watching his like press conference with like Bruno. Um, they were like just joking around after a loss. I feel like it was a loss, um, and like the dude just seems like he doesn't care. Like he seems like he's just there to like
Oh, I think
mess
I think
around.
you're talking about the presser, and the reporter asked like, "Hey, do you want to be in a presser situation as your manager is?" Because if he
Oh yeah,
doesn't win, yeah,
he's like he wants the job.
yeah.
Or
So
like,
that was before the final.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
before Europa final.
yeah. This guy's I don't know. He's interesting.
I just I just like United had an immediate problem in terms of structure, identity, and like the locker room being trash, right? So I think bringing him in to create some structure to organize that locker room is fine. But do United ever give managers the power to take control? Like it's never going to be him pulling the strings like it is at other clubs. So
Ronaldo said that 5 years ago.
Yeah,
exactly. So like you bring in this manager to create structure. You're probably not going to give him the power to properly do so because you're still going to be focused on keeping your players happy. And then what happens? On top of that, his tactics are like not very progressive. Like
dude.
I just don't believe in a three back in the modern era unless you're like you have like a very specific set of players you're working with, right? Like what are the only successful three backs we've seen in recent? Inzaghi and Javi Alonso. That's it. Like you
Yeah,
need a very specific set of players to make that work. And now you're gonna end up backing this guy, getting in all these players, right, to fit this three back system. And then when you eventually, most likely, probably will have to sack him, you then bring in another manager who has all more deadwood to work with, like players who aren't gonna work in a four back. Like not like you bring. This is a manager that you bring in as an interim. You give him a
yeah,
little bit of power to discipline the players, and then you tell him to get out, and you back a different manager. And I think, and especially with the way United changed their managers, like they changed their underwear, like how long are they gonna give him? Like you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make any sense. We'll see though. They've been good in the window. You know, we
did
have the whole season, so I guess we'll.
did
Uh,
he? So what was his like? What was his credentials before? Was it just winning the league
Sporting.
with Sporting? That's it.
From what I know at least, and I mean he did very well with them, but
Yes, I mean, I think the Portuguese league is a bit. You could be a little iffy. Like, all right,
you don't need
Mourinho,
perfect tactics to win.
yeah, and like the group of players they had and they still have are insane.
Oh,
Um,
he managed Braga before Sporting.
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
so maybe yeah, okay, maybe he has.
But back in November, who were the options for United? And that's another
That's
reason
true. Yeah,
why.
That's
That's
true.
another reason why I'm glad that we sacked Ange, because it's much harder to hire a manager mid-season.
yeah,
And if you're bringing in transfers to fit in Ange's system, and then you have to sack him, that's a waste of a transfer window.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. That I don't know.
In
I
in
think
that regard, the business there is a very good business. Before doing anything in a transfer window, they rather come and fix the manager situation and then consult with them. The sporting director sits with them and then goes to the transfer window. In that regard, it's a very good decision because it's early June, like what 10 days into transfer window. We still
yeah.
got 2 more months, so yeah, that's a good the good decision on sports.
Yeah.
It's technically closed right now, right?
What?
Like the
Oh
like
yeah,
the
because of the Club World Cup.
yeah they did they actually close it, or is it just like they just I don't know.
I'm
I'm
sure.
guessing
I'm
they
But
sure. Like you can still talk to agents and clubs, but like you
they
just
just
can't
can't make any
sign
assignments.
papers. Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, talking about Club World Cup. So I heard a news today that even the starting game, the opening game, we still have 25,000 tickets left unsold. So FIFA is slashing the prices more to
Yo,
attract
where
the
is that
players.
game? Where is
I
that game
have
gonna happen?
I have no freaking idea, to be honest.
Is it
I
the
don't
Inter
even know.
Miami uh, game?
I
Oh
actually don't
yeah,
know
Inter
who.
It's
Miami and Al Ali.
yeah.
Yeah, who wants to go watch that?
Yeah,
Have you ever seen
it's
Messi
in
yet?
Hard Rock Stadium,
Oh,
Oh,
Miami.
that's
Nashville?
LA
Oh man,
or
And
oh
Miami.
Miami? Yeah.
Miami, yeah. So if yeah, so 25,000 tickets are still unsold if you want to
It's
go.
just gonna be a bunch of Cubans and Arabs.
For sure.
That's it, bro. Who else is gonna go? And I guess like Messi fans. Like, who else is gonna go watch that game?
Yeah, it's gonna be rainy because it's June in Miami. Don't do it. I did this today last year for Cricket World Cup, and I couldn't even watch a single ball. And I got stuck there for like 5 days because of the flooding, and the entire airport flooded, like both international and domestic airport. So I got stuck. I was supposed to come back on Monday. The game was on Tuesday. I was supposed to come back on Wednesday. I couldn't come back until Saturday. So don't do it. I don't recommend it. And yeah, the game's gonna be boring because Inter Miami is playing like dog shit. The defense ain't good this season. I don't know what Macherano is doing. But hey, yeah, I guess it'll be mediocrely good because both team will be sucking.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, look, as a hindsight, it looks like Club World Cup gonna be a flop.
you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, you muted Saswat.
My bad. I never thought it was gonna be good. These like in between season friendlies are always kind of like maybe it's nice to go see some players play. But the games are usually trash, at least in the U.S.
So the
Um,
game, the game I have seen could excite some fans is on the second day, June 15th, PSC versus Atletico, and after that, I couldn't even find it.
there's no more. There's no more games.
That's it.
And after that,
There's
I'm on.
Benfica Bayern on the 24th, which
P-
could be good.
Yeah,
wasn't that a matchup like in the Champions League this season? I'm pretty sure those two teams played each other at one point.
It was
yeah,
a
I
Benfica
couldn't even.
Barca.
That game was crazy. Benfica Barca. We
Yeah,
won last kick with Rafinha scoring.
that was crazy.
Yeah, and on 26th is Juve versus City, and Salzburg versus what? Oh, it's PM. I was like, what the hell? Why are they playing at 8 a.m.? Salzburg versus Real Madrid.
Ooh, interesting.
So 3 games in total. All of the teams, the 3 teams that we want to watch.
That's it. That is a flop.
I just saw that United have set a 70 million price tag on Garnacho.
Huh? Ain't no one buying that, bro.
Dude, like I don't, because now that Chelsea have been quoted 70 for Gittins, I think you just follow through, bro. I don't think you move over to Garnacho for the same price. I don't know why they're in this race. I get he's just 20, but like, come on, bro. And people say Martinelli isn't worth that much, bro. Garnacho's never been as good as Martinelli, man.
That's terrible. That's terrible business you guys are doing. Crazy. Yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah, damn, 70 mil.
For
Wow.
Garnacho, man.
I'm looking at some of this news.
Think about the slate that Havertz gets at that price. But like Havertz is actually at least he puts up numbers, even if he's like
Bro,
you know.
you guys had a here we go for Zubimendi back in May, bro.
Is that from Romano himself, or is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
just like a Photoshop picture, bro?
No, that's Romano's. I'm on Romano's page.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why the deal's been stalled for this long. I'm pretty confident it'll get done. Like we agreed personal terms a while back. It
Madrid.
seems like we're supposed to be paying his release clause. Like, just pay it then. I don't understand like what's going on. Like,
Madrid.
Cabron.
Bro, nah, bro. Bro's probably like sitting on the beach looking at the mountains and he's like, nah, I don't want to leave.
dude, yeah,
Yeah, London is too cold for me.
that's one thing I'm worried about. Like, he comes to London and then 6 months later, like I saw
He
this
dips.
meme. Like, it's like in FIFA back in career mode. It's like, sorry, like I want to go back home. Like I'm homesick or something. You know that you get that message in your inbox, and then the player ends up going to like a different club in the same country anyway.
Yeah, classic manager mode.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know if you guys are actually in for Sesko though.
I mean, we're the only team who's opened up talks. What do you mean by in though? Like-
Liverpool are apparently talking to them.
Oh, really? This is this like news from today? That must be new.
Yeah, I think like past week, within the past like this few days. I think we're trying to choose between him and
Gyökeres?
Ekitike.
Oh, I can take it. Yeah.
I think we're wary of Gyökeres because of the
Portuguese
Portuguese tax.
I think he's different than Darwin though, because Darwin
he's-
never put up the numbers he is.
Yeah, no.
If
Although he-
if Hakimi score wins the Ballon d'Or, he keeps himself or does he give him to mom?
He gives it to his mom, bro. He's gonna put it under his mom's name. Is it even? Wait, do they have a new one each year?
New one
Like
each
you
year.
get to
What?
keep it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
the message
They don't just like write your name on it.
No. You gotta keep it. You can keep it.
It's not passed around. Is it even real gold, bro? You probably put like aluminum. It's a tin foil.
It's probably
Yeah.
plated.
A tin foil cup,
Who
bro.
knows? It looks kind of heavy though. Like when they lift it up. I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
it's acting, bro.
No. It's heavy because I was watching Ballon d'Or and when Aitana Bonmati, the Barcelona midfielder, she won it and she gets it, and we're like, oh, it's heavy, eh? So
Damn. Unless they prepped the teleprompter.
They just filled it with rocks.
With bricks.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
do we have anything else?
I think we're good, bro.
I hope Sesko signs. Knowing us.
Yeah, Liverpool.
I mean, how are you guys gonna like? Do you guys have the PSR and the money?
Yeah, bro. We haven't spent much in the last window.
You haven't spent much.
In the
Just
last
dropped
window.
a bag on Florian Wirtz.
No, we have what is it? We made I think 700 mil revenue. I don't know how much of that is profit, but apparently FSG actually have like they made enough money to be able to spend. I mean, I wouldn't count Wirtz because we were ready to spend that like seasons ago. Like whenever Bellingham went to Madrid, since then we've been ready. We've been ready last year. But I would say I think we will definitely have to offload some players. Like I saw something with Darwin had a proposal from Al Hilal or some other club, but he also prefers to stay in Europe. and so they're talking to Atletico, um, or he's talking to Atletico. But let's see if anything comes from that. Um, dude pulled up the pulled up the.
Look at this goal, by the way.
Who is this? Jokic?
No, no, no. Luis Diaz today.
Damn, bro.
Que golazo.
Bro, buy him, bro.
For 80 mil.
85, 85.
Is that goal worth 80 mil to you, bro?
Come on,
The
it's worth
price went
85
up.
at least.
The price went up after today's goal.
Yeah, probably. The
Nah,
recency
the,
bias in this
the
score is crazy, man.
the price stayed the same. It's now I think Deco's gonna see that and be like, God damn, I want him right now.
Apparently, we are looking for even looking at even Perisic. Hansi Flick likes him, and it's a low cost. I'm like, why?
Why would you do that?
It's not 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Why?
that's a terrible signing. You have like youngsters better than him. Why would you sign him?
The
I have no idea.
Pjanic pipeline.
I don't know, bro. All right, if that's all we got, and we'll ready to sign off.
Yeah.
Sir.
I'm gonna end it. All right. Thank you guys for joining, and yeah, let's not forget like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be back next week for all the yapping.
Okratalks out, baby.